What is the best putting training aid in all of golf? We're gonna find out right now. Is it a laser? I don't know if you're supposed to do that. Maybe it's a chalk line. That's what Jesus used. Maybe it's a mirror, or is it a weird, goofy golf ball you need to be putting with? I've bought every putting training aid you can imagine because we got to get more putts in the hole faster. A lot of people say there's two things that are important in putting: your line and your speed. And although I don't disagree, I don't agree either. I think it's this: it's your line, and if you start the ball on that line. I could read it correctly, and I could line it up correctly, and I could have the perfect speed. But if I stroke it incorrectly and slice it weird, it's not going to go in the hole. I also believe this: many people misread putts because of this one factor. You read the putt. I mean, we know it's here, okay? But I think people misread it because of the fact that they strike it or hit the ball weird. So you might say, oh, it breaks a lot less, so you're gonna aim kind of straight at the hole, but you slice it like this and start it way right with spin on it. And then your misread is a symptom of your poor strike, and it affects your brain to see things that aren't really there. So that leads us to all the putting training devices that people use. We have the chalk line. The only thing I don't really like about the chalk line is that it's a little messy. And you got, you look like a carpenter out here putting this on, but you see a lot of professionals do this, and they kind of get it down there, draw a line, snap it, boom. Look at that. I would say, if you want to look like you know what you're doing, draw the chalk line. But then the problem is, I'm just stuck here all day. I mean, it's cool, I know I'm lined up perfectly. Pretty cheap chalk line, Home Depot. Great for those short putts, but then what if I get bored here and I want to move on? Well, I got to draw a new line, whatever. But I don't hate this one. But it led me to other things. That's where I came across this. I saw it at the PGA show this year, this putt aim thing, and I had to try it. So it's a whole production. I know it works indoors, but I wanted to see if it works outdoors. So this supposedly shines on the green here. There we go. All right, sadly, it doesn't really shine outdoor on the putting green like we had hoped. I really wanted putt aim to work outdoors because I don't want to practice my putting indoors. I want to practice outdoors with a laser. No worries though. We've got the chalk line, we've got other stuff to help us line up, but the key is going to be, can we roll the ball correctly? And there's two things that affect how we roll the ball, and we've got the things to help us. All right, I bought this cheap mirror off Amazon. So you've seen a lot of people use the mirror, but I want to know, will it help us roll the ball better? So the mirrors help you line up the putter with the intended line, and then it helps you get your eyes over the ball or around where they should be conventionally, and then everything's squared up. I do like this. And to check it, what I like to do is put a line on the golf ball, but this should help you see how pure you're rolling that golf ball. That was nice. This is key. If you line everything up perfectly, meaning you have perfect line, perfect aim, perfect everything, and your putter is open or shut to that line, then that ball won't roll good. You see that? That line's off and you're gonna miss it. That's with the shut face. And the same thing applies with the open face. That ball's gonna roll weird, as you can see. And that affects your speed. So you cannot have good speed if you don't have good alignment. It's impossible. But what do you do if you cannot hit the ball and get it to roll on that line? All right, I've got a couple other things that I bought that are supposedly gonna help us with that. Because if you cannot roll the ball correctly, what's inevitably gonna happen is, one, your speed's gonna be off, so you're never gonna have consistency there. Two, it will affect where you aim, because that means you're either starting it to the right or to the left. So your brain will recalculate everything and adjust your reading abilities of the green to compensate for how you strike the ball. Then you're in total disaster mode. We have this mazel thing. This is a ball, sort of a ball like this, and it has these weights inside, and you could take these out and add them in to make it easier or more difficult to roll this. So that we got that one. We've got this one, which is basically the same thing, but you cannot take any weights out to make it harder or easier. So very similar. Let's see which one works the best. Look at that, I just threw them both and they landed like that. It's interesting. Then I have this one, the devil ball. How many devil balls are there? Oh, this is kind of interesting. Okay, these are nice. So this devil ball, there's a beginner level with the rounded edge, intermediate, which would be here, right here on the line, and then advanced, you flip it around, and this is a flat edge. So if your putter is open or shut just a tiny bit, this won't roll correctly. So we'll start at beginner. All right, here we go. Which one do we like the best? I'll try to get a good stroke here. Okay, I rolled that pretty good. Which one feels better? That felt pretty good. It looks weird. They all feel weird. We do want to know, will it help us with our speed and our, well, making putts? I'm trying to line these up where I think we're gonna go. And then devil ball will go advanced mode this time. I roll that one pretty well. That's the heaviest one. That's the lightest one. That's the most difficult one to get perfect. Now, with our ball, after training just a little bit with those three things, can we get a perfect roll with our line on our golf ball? Do they help? Oh, they do. That was a perfect line. Now that we've tested everything, I think I know which one is right for different people. So depending on your particular issue. The laser, well, that's good for people who want to practice indoor because it doesn't work outdoor. Chalk line, who's that for? You see a lot of the top players use chalk line. If you want to make every single 3-footer in practice, chalk line's great. Especially when you combine it with the mirror. If you are after perfect, setup fundamentals, this is for you. If you really struggle getting your body in the perfect position, this is for you. Then you know your putter square, your eyes are perfect, everything is perfect. If you're Mr. or Mrs. I gotta be perfect, then this is your deal. And you will probably make every one of those. So if you need that in your life, that is for you. I think that's good for a lot of people, at least to kind of calibrate what perfection looks and feels like. That's fine. However, you don't get to do that on the golf course. So how or what should you use if you really want to make sure you're striking that ball perfectly every time? That was a good strike. These little deals are 3 good options because they all go in your golf bag. I'm going to leave links for everything in the video description below so you can pick and choose if you want any of these. This is the cheapest. This would be the second most expensive. This would be the most expensive of these 3. This guy, Devil Ball, is the same weight as a regular golf ball. However, when you hit it, it doesn't feel the same weight, if that makes sense. And I do like that it has kind of a beginner, intermediate, and advanced mode on it. I like that. This one from Crest Golf is cheap and it is the lightest. So the weight is very, very different than a golf ball. And it seems to roll pretty well most of the time. The one from Maisel is the heaviest, but you can adjust the components inside to make it lighter and more difficult. But it feels to me like the most realistic of a golf ball. Even the outer cover feels like my Pro V1. In my experience, one of the most difficult things in putting is hitting the center of the ball with the center of the club face. And a ball like this one that is very skinny forces you to focus your strike right there in the back of that center of the ball with the center of the putter. So for that reason, and for the reason that it can be heavier, what it forces you to do is hit it a little harder or with more intent. Therefore, when you translate it over to here, you're gonna have purpose behind your strike. And I'm hoping that with more purpose behind my strike after practice, I make more putts. That was the first take. I was only gonna do 1 take anyways, to give it to you true. I do like that. I hope this is helpful for your putting needs. Love you guys. See you next time.